an Afrobeat song earlier. And while I was playing the song, the words just hit differently. It hit very differently. And it's like all of a sudden, the same words that I've heard countless of times over meant totally something different. You have that feeling, or that feeling when you're in a different state of mind. Like when you're happy, everything appears different. Everything is hard to get you annoyed. Nothing upsets you. You just, oh, hi. Oh, you could go, oh, amazing. Somebody might even say, good morning. Oh, your response is, oh, wonderful. Good morning. How are you doing? But this is the same good morning you've heard in the past. And the same way when you are sad or mad or angry and somebody says good morning. So the feeling, the energy comes from a place, the emotion. So I was listening to this Afrobeat song and it hit very differently. I'm like, this is the genius of this genre, this music. I know I'm talking about Afrobeat and I'm on mindset, but just listening to the story. Afrobeat is just on another level. This, the singers sing about, if it's love, they sing about love. If it's situationship, if it's about life on the streets and what they're going through, their hustle, the experience, they sing about it. They show you a video. Did you notice how the video is just a play out of the exact things they're saying in the lyrics? The video is the same thing, matches the lyrics. They've given you the soundtrack. They've given you everything. Doesn't that sound like a Hollywood blockbuster? Doesn't that sound like a hit TV series? Doesn't that sound like an opera? It's a Broadway opera. But you see those things play out in Afrobeat songs. I give the directors a lot of credit. Director Pink, director Adami Twitch, because their storytelling, the narrative is just so amazing, so beautiful to watch. So how does this affect mindset? Mindset, I just completed writing my book on stress test. This book has been a labor of love. Was it a labor of love? I guess I can say a labor of love. But I could finish writing the book, so the book is in the editing stage. But you can get a copy of that book on stress test. It's a book it's for professionals, not just for professionals. It's a book about how the heart works, or how the cardiac stress test, the ins and outs, the how to understand the instructions, what to wear, the foods to eat if you have a stress test. So it's for a niche community. It's for the medical world. It's for students that are in a nuclear medicine school or medical program. It's for doctors, cardiologists, for clinics, for hospitals, and it's for the general public. It's for most families have stress test ordered. Most adults, the average patient of mine is in their mid 60s, late 60s. But heart problems, not just heart attack, heart related issues is the number 2 killer in America. Heart problems or problems related to heart is number 2 in America. And America has the highest number of death by a heart attack or heart related issue. I'm not just spitting numbers. I'm not just giving you a suggestion. This is a fact. The beautiful thing about fact these days is you can verify everything I'm saying. You have ChatGPT. Type that prompt in ChatGPT. It's going to give you all the numbers. So that's what my book is about. My book, you know what? I can give a chapter. If you're interested, I'll give you a chapter of my book, chapter 4. That's where I talk about the ins and outs, whether you should drink coffee or not drink coffee, the foods to eat when you're having a stress test, the clothes to wear, the protocol, the medications to take before your test or after your test, where to go. Should you travel if you have a nuclear stress test? You can travel, but you want to make sure you get a note from your facility, your doctor, the clinic where you had the test. You need a clearance because when you go to the airport, you will set off all kinds of alarm. And a lot of those people oftentimes get put to the corner and they get frisked and searched. And because they're setting off all kinds of alarm, if you don't have that note that clears you, you might be either embarrassed or delayed, frustrated. One time, someone was telling me that they went to the Mexican or the other town to California. They went to that part of Mexico. There's that Tijuana. So when they were coming back, they were setting off all kinds of alarm. It so happened that they had done a nuclear medicine test. They did a stress test. So they were setting off all kinds of alarm at the border. So until they remember they had a stress test, the border patrol, the immigration was calling the doctor's office. And it so happened the doctor's office was closed. Nobody to verify that they had a stress test. Imagine the kind of stress they had to go through just because they did not get a note. What you know can help or not help you. So now you have the information, but if you don't use the information, if you don't share this information with someone, this is the holiday. Some people will be traveling tomorrow. Some people will be traveling all across to different parts of wherever. So some of you, because I've seen patients, I saw patients today, I've done tests, nuclear stress tests on them, but none of them asked me for a note. So I guess none of them is traveling. If they go to the airport and set off all kinds of alarm, they never asked me. You know what? I will make it a point of duty tomorrow or moving forward to add that to my questionnaire that I ask the patients. Do they foresee travel anytime soon? Do they have plans to travel anytime soon of having this test? Because oftentimes patients, they forget. Most oftentimes is because of ignorance. They don't know. So that's the kind of reason why I wrote this book. So my book is a guide for technologists to understand and explain, for you to understand nuclear medicine from the point of view of a technologist. I tell the stories, what I go through, how these people share their pain or fear for injections and needles being inserted in them. I hear all kinds of stories. So that's what I put in the book. That's what I wrote about basically. So it's more like a storybook, but it's like a theater. You can take it anywhere. It could be a soap opera. It could be a reality show. You know what? This might be an idea. Maybe I can adapt or convert my book into a reality show. Would you watch that show if there was a reality show about the drama that goes on in people's experience when they come to the doctor's office, imaging center? If you watch a movie like that, give me a thumbs up or give me a yes. DM me your thoughts. If I get enough people interested, maybe I'll make some YouTube content about this. I write a story. Interesting. Anyways, enjoy the holiday. Enjoy. Holidays a time of joy and happiness. It can also be a time of stress and discomfort. I had a friend that called me today and told me that his son just got shot over the weekend. This man lost his 16-year-old this past weekend on Saturday. This is not a story that I heard in the news. This is a story that father lost his son. Can just imagine what's going through that man's head. I haven't lost a son, so I don't know what I would do if I lost a son. I don't know. If you haven't had that experience before, you haven't experienced it, so you don't know. I've lost a father and I know what I went through. I know that experience is in my experience of a loss of a father. Some of you have lost a son or child or daughter or mother or father. If you tell me your experience, it will mean a lot to me, more than just pulling advice from a storybook, from what you saw in the movie, what you read in the book, what you listened to on YouTube or social media, whatever graphics you learned or you heard. If you can share your experience with me, I will listen. I want to hear your experience. I want to share your joys, your pain, your sorrow, your discomfort, your breakups, your makeups. I've gone through divorce. I don't talk about it on my show for a reason. I've gone through 2 divorces. So I have experience what it means to go through divorce. It's in my experience. At first, I did not know how to talk about this kind of things, but now I understand. It's a feedback. It's a process. Everybody that has gone through something, everybody has gone through something. And everybody that has gone through something you can talk. It's easy to give advice, to talk about relationship when you've never had a relationship, you've never been married, you've never even had a being romantic with anybody. You've never been in love before. You don't even have a boyfriend. You don't even have a girlfriend. You've never been in love before. A lot of people have been in situationships. A lot of people have been in some type of friendship. A lot of people have been in, like influencers will call it, friends with benefits. Or a lot of people have been in positions where they want to tell you what to do, but they've never experienced it. They've never gone through that aspect of life. They say in hindsight, everybody has 20/20 vision. I could have done this. You should have done this. You could have this. So what I say is when something is not in your experience, the best advice is to be quiet. Silent is divine. Silent is God. Silence. Think about it. Every beautiful thing in creation, in our existence, happens in silence. Trees don't make noise. The Iroko tree does not make noise that I'm going to be the biggest tree. The beautiful waves of the ocean, they just happen effortlessly. Have you ever thought, is there a diesel engine or a machine that is making the waves go up and down, the tides? Is there a generator that is powering the waves to go continuously nonstop, day and night? What is operating or holding the universe? Why is the universe orbiting? Why are we in a spinning planet? Is it being powered by a diesel engine? Is this electricity? What is it that is holding this spinning earth? The earth spins in silence. Every beautiful thing happens in silence. It's not what happens, it's what you do about it. Whatever happens, there's a lesson life is teaching you. There's a lesson. There's a reason. Enjoy the rest of your holiday. I'm not here to sell anything to you. I could care less if you join my challenge or anybody's challenge. It does not matter. You're only responsible for yourself. I'm responsible for myself. I can only share with you what has worked for me. Somebody saw me today and was like saying, Ike, you have lost a lot of weight. What are you doing? What's going on? You look very good. I said, thank you. It's by choice. I give myself a challenge and I have 30 days to get in the body that I love, that I want to be in. 30 days. I give myself a challenge and I'm on the path. I give myself a challenge to finish my book. My book got finished. I turned it in and game on. What is your challenge? The year is coming to an end. Some people thought this time would never come, but it's here. It's here. What is the challenge you're willing to give yourself? There's a lot of time left in this year. What is the challenge? What can you challenge yourself to achieve in the next 7 days? What is the challenge? What result can you achieve in the next 7 days? There's a lot. There's a lot you can do. There's a lot I can do. I choose to give out happiness and love and joy and comfort. I choose to make peace, to spread love, to spread joy. I choose to be happy. I choose to look at every circumstance in my life as a lesson, as a feedback. Ask the question, what is life teaching me from this thing? What can I do differently? What do I need to change? How do I need to change? What do I need to work on in my life? Because everybody you meet and deal with in life is yourself pushed out. It's yourself pushed out. So who do I need to become? I need to be more loving, more understanding, more giving, more passionate, more observant, more present. So I need to work on me. I need to be focused on me. As a matter of fact, I was listening to an Afrobeat song earlier that was talking about it does not matter what anybody say about me. It does not matter what people do. Everything that matters is me. It's what I do, what I say about me. That was such a wrong affirmation. You know what? Affirmation, I realized something. Afrobeat genre is, there's just a lot of depth into this thing. There's a lot of affirmations in Afrobeat. There's a lot of romance. There's a lot of opera, drama, the highs, the lows. If you're not into Afrobeat, watch one of the music videos. These directors have gone to another level. Everything that the artist is singing about, they capturing it in drama is just beautiful. No wonder this genre is just exploding. It's just on another level. Anyways, I said I'm not here to sell anything. But if you want a copy of my book on stress, a page, a chapter, you know what? The content, I'll release one page content of the book, and I'm going to release chapter of the book. If you're interested, if you want a chapter to read more, to learn more, to know more, or if you have a question regarding health, my field, as a matter of fact, join our community. We are forming a community where I'm going to answer questions about health-related questions. If you have had a stress test and you want to know more about it, you want to know about the result, you want to know your result, let me know. I can tell you a result. It's not going to be official because you need a doctor, and doctor has they bound by certain code. They can only display to tell you so much. But the point is, this is my disclaimer. You are getting your result. And my disclaimer is that I'm not a doctor. And this is to verify all the result that you hear from me with your doctor. Go verify. But I'm going to put out a copy of my book on stress, and I'll put out a page of the table of content. If I get enough requests on any particular content, on any particular chapter, I would do a workshop or a Zoom call where I answer questions and I go over your history. If you have cardiac issues and you have your history of symptoms and things like that, if you know a loved one that has symptoms of stress test, things like high blood pressure, diabetes, hypertension, chest pain, the typical stress test symptoms, if you're having rapid heartbeat or even slower heartbeat, irregular, couple risk factors. If I start listing all the risk factors, all the challenges, everybody will be in the doctor's office tomorrow because you will find that you have one or two of this thing. When you start talking about diabetes, or when you say diabetes, you've captured millions of people, right? So diabetes, high blood pressure, you talk about the typical one, cholesterol. You talk about high cholesterol. So when you have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and diabetes, those major things, you've pretty much covered the whole country. And where does that come from? Where does high blood pressure come from? Where does any chest pain, any irregular heartbeat, where does hypertension come from? Where does diabetes come from? Where does it come from? Where does high cholesterol come from? Comes from food. The food we consume. That is where everything comes from. Blood, which is the sustenance of the whole body. What nourishes your blood? What you put in your mouth, the nutrient, what you drink. If you are interested in learning about the book, DM me. I'll send you a copy of the book, and I'm going to do a Zoom about this book soon. And if I get enough interest, maybe after the holiday, let's just enjoy the holiday, right? Let's go back to our habits, eat whatever we want, all the foods we want. I'm not naming any food. I'm not a party pooper. I don't want to spoil nobody's party. Eat whatever you want, enjoy yourself. But the only thing I say, do whatever you do responsibly. Spend time with your loved ones. Life is good. Life is good. Spend time with your loved ones. Who are we to tell if we're going to be here tomorrow? My friend that called me today did not know that his 16-year-old was going to die on Saturday. So this kid is here on Saturday. They're having conversation. And that same Saturday night, this boy is no more. He's no more. Who are we to judge who gets to live the next day when we are fighting and tearing each other up? Who are we to judge? Nothing is guaranteed. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. Yes, you can do what you need to do responsibly to live a longer life. Healthy eating, healthy living. You can extend your life by 10 years. Yes, you can. That's what I'm talking about. Do what you can to extend your life, right? But aside from that, enjoy life. Be a problem solver. Be a happiness bringer. Don't choose the path of war. You have a choice every second in every relationship. When I'm watching some of those videos again, I go back to Afrobeat, the music, these guys, the things they say, and the results. And you wonder, why is this happening in my life? What am I doing to attract those things? When you're the one that is saying those things, let's take for example, you wanted to say, what is bothering you? And you say, what's the matter with you? What kind of response do you think you'll get from your partner right there? But inside of you, you were thinking, or what you meant is, what is bothering you? But it comes out of your mouth, what's the matter with you? So communication is a big, big key. Get better in your communication, improve your language, improve. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Get better in your delivery. It might help to learn a new word, maybe even if a new word a week, once a week. Open a dictionary, learn one new word, read more. Even my son taught me something recently. This kiddo, he taught me something very interesting. He made me realize you can use Zyrtec and Tylenol at the same time. You can give it back to back. I thought you have to wait, 4 hours between both medication. No, he's like, Dad, you can give it back to back. So I was wanted to use okay, I'm older, I'm your father, I'm in the medical field. This kid, taught me you can use Tylenol and Zyrtec. And I'm like, okay, good. How many things are our kids trying to communicate with us oftentimes that we feel we know it all? We are the parent. Kid, you need to shut up. I know it all. I have all the answers. And these kids are looking at us like, because these kids, they're Googling these things, they're chat GPT in these things, they're watching YouTube shorts, they know things. These kids know things. Just listen to me. They know things, and things that are true, that are factual. Let's put it that way, that are factual. A lot of adults are just, even when they are wrong and they have the result is in front of them that they're wrong, they would rather die in their being wrong than to change positions. No, what I'm talking about, learn to change positions. I am very open and willing to say, I don't know. Son, I made a mistake. You are right. You were right. I will listen to you. So I've learned to take that approach with my kids, to let them talk. There's the word, let them talk. Parents are very crafty most times. They want to direct the direction. They want to direct the conversation back to their ideologies, their philosophies, even if they know they're wrong. What I'm saying is, there's no limit to learning in life. The day you stop learning is the day you die. So if you stop learning and you feel like you know it all, you're already dead. You're just waiting to be buried, because life is continuous. We learn every day. We get better. A simple thing as somebody was telling me that a kid died because they didn't have a breather, inhaler, right? Okay, that's a different story though. There are alternatives to inhaler when you don't have access to an inhaler. So I'm just sharing this with you. If you heat up a cloth, heat it up in a shower or in a kitchen sink, heat it up. The steam can act as an inhaler and can help open the lungs, okay, if you do not have access to an inhaler. The towel you heat up, the steam, let the child breathe on it in the absence of an inhaler. Somebody could have saved somebody's life. This was the story someone shared with me, and that was all they needed to do. They could have saved a child's life. But anyways, I'll share stories of my book. I'll share content from my book. I'll post things like this. And if you have questions, maybe you can join my community. Join the community where we help each other, teach each other, share from each other. If you have stories about stress tests, and I have countless testimonial videos of patients that come in. One patient said something that, I've heard of all kinds of things in this field, but she was like, Ike, you are amazing. She said the way I made her feel, the way she was so stressful about the test, but she did not have a stress that she had a PET scan. She had a PET scan, a PET CT scan, if you know what that is. That's another type of nuclear medicines test that I do. We use FDG 18, fluorodeoxyglucose molecule, to diagnose different tumors in the body. It could be cancer, it could be a mass or whatever. They want to see how active that mass is. Oh, as a matter of fact, I forgot about the story. I called one of my patients today. I saw this gentleman, how this happened. I meant to text another tech to ask some questions about how to process some study. So this gentleman, his name happens to be Joe also. So he calls me back and I'm like, okay, when we start talking, that's when he told me, okay, oh, he came through the facility and he liked the way I shared mindset and how the possibilities of getting better, of a cure, that when everything else has not worked, maybe use the power of your mind, your subconscious mind, your practice, looking at healing from within, because as within, so without. We talked about stuff like that. So he was really into sharing stories and his experience. So he's like, Ike, you would not believe what my doctor told me. The doctor said from my scan, all the 30 spots I had when I saw you back then, around that time, that made me come to have that test to investigate if those spots were still there, because that would determine what the next cause of treatment would be. The doctor said they were all gone. All 30 spots were all gone. And I'm like, okay, there you have it. It's not me. I did not do anything, but I'm telling you, it is possible. It is possible that you can get healing from the way you think, the mindset. If you think sickness, you attract sickness. If you think health, you attract health. If you think anyhow you condition your mind is what you attract to you. So what I normally tell people is, look, okay, you've tried everything else. Why don't you just try this? You've tried everything else. What do you have to lose to be open to the possibility of affirmations working for you? Or you getting healed by controlling what you watch, what you say, what you feed your mind. Because aside from bad eating, one of the strongest thing to bad health or cause of death in America is bad thinking, mental health, what you feed your mind, what empowers you, the images you will look at, the images, because images you think are nothing. They are more powerful than words, because an image is an internal conversation. For you to form an image means you had a word, you've defined that thing without words. So that is what imagination is. Mental health is stronger than even the physical health. All I'm asking is you have a choice to be mean or to be nice, to be happy or to be sad, to act, take a leap. That business idea that you've been thinking, get it started. You have a choice to get it started or not get it started. You have a choice to do that research or not do that research. I've challenged myself to lose or not lose 30 pounds, but to get my body right in 30 days. And that is my discipline. That is what I'm doing. That's what I'm working. That's what I'm doing, challenging myself to be at a certain body type by learning some dance moves, by exercising a certain way. And the beautiful thing about exercise or about transforming your life through exercise, it's not about doing anything hard. It's not about doing big things. It's about doing the small things consistently. Doing the small things consistently always beats doing the toughest, hardest thing occasionally. It sounds like a cliche. So doing the smallest things consistently always beats doing the hardest, toughest, biggest things occasionally. It's a wrap. Enjoy the rest of your holiday. Enjoy the season. You can choose to be stressed or you can choose not to be stressed. The choice is yours.